your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global Skill Development Council, your gateway to digital transformation. We are an independent, vendor-neutral ISO IEC 1024 accredited certification body committed to helping individuals and organizations stay future-ready in a rapidly evolving world. GSDC is accredited by the Accreditation Board for International Certification Bodies, ABICB. For 10 years, we've certified more than 100,000 professionals across Europe, North America, Asia, and Africa, with our offices in Switzerland, the United States, and Singapore. Our programs are recognized by leading publications and podcasts, including Forbes, Tech Target, People Managing People. We offer 100-plus globally accredited certifications across emerging and in-demand domains like generative AI and emerging technologies, HR and learning and development, project management and agile Scrum, ISO and quality management, information security. Each GSDC certification is designed to empower professionals with confidence and help organizations stay competitive in a fast-changing landscape. Every certification is crafted with insights from 100-plus global advisory board members representing top universities and leading industry experts. Our certified professionals are trusted by 500-plus multinational companies, which help unlock better roles, faster promotions, and delivering cutting-edge expertise. We partner with 100-plus authorized training partners and 50-plus universities, supporting talent across all career levels, from entry-level to executive leadership. As a GSDC member, you gain lifelong access to interactive webinars, hands-on workshops, SME panels, and global summits. Join a vibrant community of 25,000-plus members and be part of our global events. Check our reviews on Trustpilot. We're trusted worldwide for quality, support, and impact. Whether you're aiming higher or building tomorrow's talent, GSDC is your partner in purposeful growth and impactful leadership. Visit our website to explore our offerings. GSDC, share the best practices and learn from the best practices. Welcome to the Global.
Hello everyone, good morning, good afternoon and good evening wherever you are joining from. We'll be starting the session now. Please allow me a minute so I can share my screen and we can start with the session. Here we go. I hope you all can see my screen. Behalf of GSDC, I would love to welcome you all to our webinar series, Global Skill Development Council Certified Learning, GSDC AI in Action 2026, Predict, Protect and Perform across industry. With that, you'll be learning how to apply productive, secure and high performance AI at scale. My name is Preetham. I'll be here as moderator. Do let me know if you have any concern during the session. Feel free to reach out to me over the chat box and I'll make sure that I'll be taking care of it. So this is our incredible panel of AI experts aligned for this entire series. So for this week, we do have this amazing speakers lined up, which is scheduled from 12 to 16 January 2026 with a time slot, which is 7:30 a.m. Central, 9:30 p.m. Singapore, 7 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please do join us for all the upcoming session as this series is scheduled till 31st January 2026 and might get extended. So before I could hand over the session to our speaker today, would love to quickly introduce our hosting organization, GSDC, known as Global Skill Development Council. We are vendor agnostic, vendor neutral. We're globally recognized certification body and we do have 100 plus authorized training partner across the globe. I would love to thank you those who have joined us to our training partner channel. In case if you are looking for any training program for yourself, feel free to reach out to our training partner. To have an inquiry about it. I'll share the contact details shortly in the chat box. And also I'm very proud to tell you all that we are accredited by ABICB and supported by World Press Hub, which is our official media partner who covers all our events and press releases. Also, we do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us and we have certified more than 250,000 professionals worldwide. We have 500 plus subject matter experts with us. They work with us closely to design our exam program and all the deliverables. Also, we are associated with 1000 plus multinational corporates and 500 Fortune companies and 50 plus universities across the world. Let me introduce you all to GSDC AI Studio, those who have joined us for the first time. This is a platform where we are providing 100 plus live session on AI monthly basis, which is led by global expert, where you'll be getting 4 daily session, 45 minutes of live impactful session along with the hands-on learning. So this is a platform where you can directly learn from all the global leaders, AI leaders around the world. So real-time practice, which means you can apply all the concept that you have learned in that particular session, and in case if you have any doubt or question, that will be resolved instantly. And this training is aligned with the industry standards for job ready skills. How you can access to this GSDC AI Studio in easy 3 steps. You can start your learning right away for completely free for 14 days, where you will be getting 80 plus live session and full access to GSDC Studio. Next step that you can opt out for GSDC lifelong membership with $109, where you'll be getting lifetime access, 80 plus live session, full access to GSDC Studio, free GSDC membership, free access to all our physical events that we often conduct, and you will be getting access to our LinkedIn profile improver. The last plan that you can opt out for GSDC certification plus lifetime membership with $100, which is limited time offer, where you'll be getting access to all our GSDC certification, all benefits of lifetime membership, personalized coaching, capstone project plus AI tool, GSDC Copilot and assessment tool. You can check our website for more information and you can get in touch with a learning advisor to get any help that you want regarding the GSDC AI Studio. I'll share the contact details shortly in the chat box. So as I mentioned earlier, we do have 100 plus certification portfolio with us. So our current certification portfolio holds certification on different domain, which includes L&D, HR, Gen AI, agentic AI, emerging technologies, ISO lead auditor and implementer, project management, PMO, agile, DevOps and SRE, cybersecurity, digital transformation and so on. So this certification are specifically designed for all the professionals who are looking to upskill themselves or who wants to stay industry relevant in this AI era, right? So you can check our website for more information regarding all this certification, or you can get in touch with a learning advisor for more information of this certification. So you'll be getting benefits of lifelong membership with GSDC. You'll get certificate upgrade. You'll be having free access to all our workshop, boot camps, events that we often conduct. And guess what? You'll be getting free access to all our exclusive learning program we have. Along with that, you'll be getting implementation resources, speaker invites, and newsletter. So check it out. Reach out to our learning advisor to get more information and take the advantage of all these benefits. So without any further delay, I would love to introduce our today's speaker, Rashmi Gupta. She's a product manager and she'll be taking us through the topic that is enhancing operational efficiency with AI, automating processes, improving productivity and reducing cost. I would love to tell more about Rashmi here. So Rashmi is a senior product leader with over 10 years of experience driving operational efficiency, digital transformation and AI enabled decision making across enterprise platform. She specializes in building scalable governance driven product that reduce friction, enhance productivity and deliver measurable business impact. Rashmi brings deep expertise in translating complex business challenges into intelligent data driven solutions that enable organizations to operate smarter and faster. We're delighted to have you, Rashmi, for today's session. Thank you so much for joining, and you can have the hander of the mic now. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Preetham, for the introduction. I appreciate it. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone. This is Rashmi Gupta here, and I'll be taking over the presentation. Please let me know once my screen is visible. And we'll get started. Great. I guess I got a thumbs up. So thanks for confirming. So let's get in action now. Okay. So enhancing operational efficiency with AI. Automating processes, improving productivity, and reducing cost. This is the topic that we are going to cover today. Because as we are learning about AI, the tools, as to how to use the tools, it's also very important to understand where and how to use it functionally to make sure you get the best results as an enterprise person, right? Like, or as somebody who's just getting started in their career. So this is what we are going to cover in the session, trying to make sure that we focus on a particular area of artificial intelligence and try to walk through a B2B scenario, which will help everybody understand how to apply it, not just how to use the tools, right? That's kind of what the focus of this today's session is going to be. So I'll quickly go over the agenda here. Why operations is the fastest AI return of investments, the premise, why the execution will beat technology, the reality of enterprise operations today, how we can get AI in action, where it actually can help us, the AI efficiency framework that we can use. And then using that framework, I have a case study for B2B commerce that we'll walk through, and key takeaways, Q&As, and then based on how much time we have some exercise at the end as well. And before I jump deeper, given that we are going to use B2B commerce as the case study, you will see throughout the walkthrough, I will be using B2B commerce as the base or as the example set. So for those who are not very familiar with it, B2B commerce is the business to business commerce, where basically whether it's products, it could be services that are being purchased, sold, and like everything that we do as B2C customer is being done in the commerce world, but it's focused on businesses. So a quick glimpse before we I just want to quickly show, just so that everybody is a little more aware. So for example, we have Amazon Business. So I know generally everybody must be using or being used to using Amazon or Flipkart or depending on where you are located, other commerce websites. But B2B is more focused on businesses. So they'll have things which are more business focused, right? Like, for example, if I own a office space, I would need bulk orders of papers, pens, notepads, office supplies, right? Things like that. This is just a basic example of B2B, but I just wanted to clear that um, before we get started. So, as somebody who owns a business, you would want, or the things that you need to do would be very similar, right? You would need to place order, you'll need to pay, you may have issues, you may want to return the product, right? So there are a lot of processes which are very similar in nature when it comes to B2B, similar to what we do, right? When we are online and trying to shop things for ourselves. So I just wanted to kind of give a quick picture before we got started. So, like, let's get in action now. Um, why operations is the fastest AI return of investment? So the reason why operations is going to be the key here is because operations generally have high volume of repetitive decisions, high volume of requests, right? So if there is a volume being high and decision is being repeated, it's very efficient if we can take a question out of it and identify where is the delay currently and how we can fix it, how we can leverage artificial intelligence to improve that process, not just automate it. And for artificial intelligence to work best, the most effective ways is when you know that there are certain rules that exist, right? There are certain rules that we want AI to follow. You, of course, will need data that already exists so that AI is processing all the data and coming up with recommendations and identifying issues. And then, based on those two things, AI can repeat the decisions or it can continuously keep learning, and then it can improve the rules engine. And you, of course, as time goes on, you have more data. So the quality of results, the quality of recommendations keep improving as things keep going on and the system learns better. And that's kind of what it gets built on. So some examples in this case would be uh, order placement, right? Order placement, how we can make it more effective, or where do we have gaps in the current process, especially in the B2B space, or pricing approvals. When B2B discussions are happening, a lot of times customers have predefined discount rates provided as a business to business partner. So we'll just see how that happens and how we can improve these processes ahead. Okay. Now, going over the premise. So, generally speaking, if you think about artificial intelligence, or like we're talking about certain implementations, we say that, okay, that tool did not work. But that's not really true, because it's not the tool that did not work. It's truly the implementation that was done, the automation of the process that was performed, which was not as effective. It was not taking care of all the actors in the picture. It was not taking in account all the users, their pain points. And that's kind of where a lot of time the failures comes into picture. And that's what becomes the pain point, right? And failure comes when you have no governance, you have no ownership, and you are automating incorrect things. If you try to incorrectly automate items which actually should have been decisions made by a person, or a physical escalation, or a manual intervention, without understanding, that's when it will have issues. And that's when you'll realize that the system did not deliver. But it's actually not the system that didn't deliver, it's us as industry leaders or team members who did not pick up the right process. And that's why it's really important to identify it correctly. Pritham, please keep letting me know if there are any questions or any concerns as we move forward.
Sure.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so talking about the reality of enterprise operations. So just to look into it, how do they look today? So there are a lot of common inefficiencies which are whether it's a automotive industry, they have operations, a security industry having dealers doing installations, or like an organization which is having hardware installations that need to happen, right? So it could be different industries. It doesn't have to be a particular industry, as long as in this example it's B2B. There are a lot of common inefficiencies, which definitely are low hanging fruits. That is something that we can pick up on, improve those processes according to that organization, and improve the customer experience. So let's go over some of those here. You have manual approvals. Currently, a lot of companies, especially even enterprise operations, will have a lot of steps where they'll be like, yeah, you need to get that manually approved. Only then can you enter it in the system. So there are some steps which are not even digitized, which is a breaking point, because if you're just looking from system perspective, you don't know that there was a manual step, right? That's just completely missing. Then spreadsheet driven workflows. So like nothing wrong in having spreadsheet driven workflows. However, it kind of becomes like a one point failure, a single point failure, where there is a spreadsheet driven workflow. Only one person who created it knows how it really works. And if they are gone for whatever reason, the process, the way everything was working completely gets broken, right? And I have seen that myself in enterprise operations, where there's a process more than I would like to agree, where they'll have a process or an area where nobody had time focused on a process to automate, and that team internally came up with a system which was working for them, but it's not the best practice, right? So those things do happen in enterprise. Then you have context switching across systems. So there are whether it's sales reps or support team members, right? And they are trying to work with a customer, and they have to have like 3 screens, and they are working through 8 systems depending on what the customer is asking. And they have to look into different systems. For if they want to look up just the customer detail, they are looking in one system. If they have to return something the customer ordered, they have to look into other system. If the customer is having issues with the pricing that they had, they have to look in a third system, which is a lot of context switching, and it's very exhaustive. And those are the kind of things which make people prone to error, right? And it also delays decisions. So those are the kind of things which are very common across, and are some low hanging fruits that we can definitely cater to. We can definitely try and fix those. Taking some examples, I'll just quickly go over these. So we have, for example, we had order stuck waiting for price override approval. In B2B, you have a lot of that, where you have a override exception request when suppose the customer ordered something in bulk, and instead of 10% discount, they are requesting a 12% discount, right? Because they are ordering in bulk. In that case, there might be an override approval that's required, but that was a physical process they created, and it's sitting on somebody's desk, and the customer is not aware exactly what's going on and is waiting. And sometimes they get irritated and they leave, right? So a lot of that also happens even in B2B. And then support team gets bounced around various teams. You might have seen that yourself, depending on your experiences, where you reach out to one team with, hey, something is not working, or I need help resetting my password. And then your one ticket that you created get bounced around 4 people. And like 24 hours later, you don't have access and your ticket gets closed. So things like that happen, right? Or manual fraud or compliance check frauds happen, right? Because since there are processes which are being happening manually, or they don't have proper validation, or somebody keeping an eye, there are things that if people have malicious intent, they can make adjustments and try to game the system and do a fraud where they can give extra discounts, like 50% discount because this is my brother-in-law, for example, right? Things like that. And this is something that need to get fixed. So let's jump into AI efficiency framework, right? Like looking at the problem, let's see how we can have a basic AI framework. And then with each slide, we'll definitely go in a little further more detail, but this is like the first layout of the efficiency framework. You have inputs. So the inputs is basically coming from the orders, the returns, the customer tickets, phone calls, all of those are inputs which are coming from customer. Then we are trying to put the AI assist. AI assist will have context assembly, classification, pattern detection, recommendation, evidence. We'll go in further detail on the next slide, but it has a lot of other things that it will do in sequence to help the customer better, to help the system understand the issue better. And then you have human validation. So instead of AI actually making the decision, there's a human validation, a human intervention point where somebody from the organization is actually acknowledging or overriding the decision that was made or not made by, it was suggested by the customer, by the AI. And once that is done, so after that, the outcome and learning comes, right? So you have AI assist making recommendations that, hey, for this particular scenario, this is my recommendation. The human validates it and then makes the decision that, okay, that makes sense. And once that decision is made, it goes in a learning loop, because now since it's repeating, right, it's a high volume process. Each time that request comes and human validates, there's a learning that's happening for the AI, and it's going back to the AI assist. And the AI assist is learning that, okay, in a scenario like this, the recommendation could be better depending on the human validation and the adjustments that the human is making. And that's where we are improving our recommendations, our evidence, as well as our AI is learning better based on the system, the type of data, and various scenarios. That's where slowly our AI is learning, AI assist is learning our various scenarios. Now here, why this scales, why this is something that a enterprise can use and even a small company can use, because this is safe, right? The data is still within the organization. You can audit the data. Whatever recommendations that are coming from the AI assist are available, they can get audited. And then given the learning loop, they are also improving over time, going in the right direction. And why governance matters. So in this case, AI governance is also a key, because we need to make sure that there's trust, accountability, as well as regulatory compliance when this implementation is being done. Because any recommendation that the AI assist is making, in the end, it's within the organization, it's within the system. So it has to be aligned with the governing body. It has to align with the compliance needs that the company might have. And here's where humans are really essential to this loop. Human in this loop is not optional, because we are doing final validations, final approvals, exception handling, the scenarios which are not yet learned by AI assist. And we are also giving model feedback as to whatever recommendation was made, did it make sense or not, and make readjustments. So I'll use an example from B2B perspective. The AI flag, for example, AI flags the unusual discount. When AI flags the discount, the sales operations team can either accept it that yes, we see that it's a unusual discount, they can investigate it further, and they can probably cancel that order from then and there. Or if there's a true scenario or there's a chain of commands as to why this needs to happen, they will be able to reject the recommendation from AI Assist and say that, yeah, we know that this is unusual discount, but it's because, for example, that particular product is going out of cycle and we want to remove the warehouse quantity that we have, and that's why we are giving exceptional discounts for that product, right? Or if it's a new organization and we are trying to create a binding with them, so we are giving unusual discounts than what we usually do. So those are the type of things where AI Assist can make recommendations and we can still have the human touch, which will do the final approval. Now, let's apply the AI framework directly into B2B. We'll pick up a scenario and then we'll go over the granular details using the commerce example. One second. Excuse me. Okay, so this is a real problem, the decision latency. So in this diagram, you can see it's a timeline, right? You have T minus X days or weeks before the sales team is working with a new prospect opportunity of a kind where a customer is interested in buying something from us or becoming a customer of ours, right? B2B works different than B2C here, where sometimes before onboarding a customer, you have additional vetting to be done before you can allow those customers on your commerce platform. So that's where the T minus X, the team is working with the prospect, the customer is engaged. Then T minus 0, which is today's date, your customer is approved, right? It's customer is qualified, they have the budget, authority, everything to decide. And they finally decide on the solution that you're providing, whether it's a product or a service, and they are ready to buy it, which is great. Now, once they are placing the order, the sales team will, between today and like 1 to 2 days after, right? Sometimes it takes a little longer. The sales team will hand it off to the legal team if it's service-based, or if it's physical product, right? There's procurement team that comes into picture to make sure that the delivery of the product can be done. So there's an internal handoff within the teams. Once that internal handoff happens, the decision needs to be made after that. The internal team will have to decide to move forward with the contract once it's approved, right? There's a decision made. But sometimes there are delays in making those decisions. And instead of that happening within a day or two, if it starts taking longer by day 3 or day 4, because of the delays or incompetence within the organization, the customer is engaged with a competitor now who can deliver faster, and then you not only just lost the deal, but probably your competitor also gained it. So it's definitely a big loss. So this is the decision latency, because it was not the product that your customer did not like, the money you were asking for the product the customer didn't like. The problem was the delay that made the customer move out of your organization and decide to take their business elsewhere. And that's where operations need to be on their A game to make sure that these kind of lost deal do not happen if we keep the efficiency up. So this is like the scenario here. So let's see AI in action where it helps, right? So for example, customer places the order. If there is some kind of anomaly or some additional approval required, AI detects the anomaly, the AI assist detects the anomaly, Once it detects it, it will suggest some action. It will make recommendation that, hey, given the type of data I have, given the order that was placed by this customer, this is the suggested action that we should take. And it will also assign a risk score to the problem, right? The anomaly, which will create the urgency. Given if the risk score is high, which means that this customer might leave soon, or this is an urgent request that needs to get handled, right? It's just like the priorities that we see when we are trying to do some work, right? If we are using Jira, for example, or fresh service, and you have tickets which are coming as a high priority or critical priority work stopping. So based on something similar like that, the organization can set up a risk score that works for within the team that AI maps back to. And once that score is given and action is suggested, the human can just validate and override. So instead of doing detection themselves that, hey, we have a problem, AI is detecting the problem for them, making the suggestion, identifying the urgency, and then all the team member has to do is confirm if it looks good or override that there's no action to be taken. And then based on the human factor, which is where it's really important for us to understand that uh, it's we are not being replaced, right? There is a role for us here, being human in the loop. We decide whether the order will get processed or whether it will get escalated to another team, or if there's additional manual intervention needed. And that's where your AI will continue learning that if you escalated the situation and did not just process the order, your AI again learned that, hey, for a situation like this, it gets escalated, and then it can fix the AI action that it's suggesting. Some use cases is like we talked about, right? Intelligent ticket routing, knowledge retrieval, policies and pricing rules, anomaly detection for payments or orders, right? Like, for example, there was payments made by the customer. They were authorized, but before being processed, for some reason, they failed at a later stage, right? And when the money is actually being procured. In that case, AI can help detect it a lot sooner than somebody looking at the monthly report might. And that's where it can help be proactive than reactive at a later time. And then it can be, largely help in audit monitoring as well as compliance. So that's kind of where these are the high impact use cases where we can leverage AI assist and make our life easier as well as enhance the customer experience greatly, because now they are not waiting for a long time. So going back to the framework, right? So in reference to B2B commerce, so when we talk about inputs, input could be customer orders, customer tickets that they create on the support boards or like reach out to the support team, the policies or the rules that the company has, right? The guidelines, as well as the history of the customer. All of those things are the input for the customer. And when AI is reviewing everything, it can use all of that data to then classify the data as well as risk score the data. Then you have human validations doing approval or escalations as needed. And we have outcome and learning, which is the faster cycle or lower cost, right? So based on what outcomes and what are the learnings and how you keep improving it, either you will improve the churn or you will reduce the cost. And both of those great like help greatly with the return on investment when you're talking about AI assist like experience. Moving on, drilling down further in the AI assist, right? Like this is the meat of it. So in this example, we are doing a large B2B customer places a bulk order, right? They have a bulk order and they got an unusual discount. So let's see how AI would handle it. So the first thing AI would do, the AI assist. I'm sorry, I keep interchangeably using it, but when I'm saying AI in this particular slide, at least, I'm talking about the AI assist. So the first thing it will do is the context assembly. It will pull the data from customer tier, past order volume, discount policies the customer was aligned with, and all the regional or national compliance rules of the organization. So all the data gets pulled and fed for the pattern detection. Then AI notices that the discount is exceeding the norm for this tier of customer, and similar cases in past resulted in margin erosion because now the profit margins are chopped off if you are giving unusual discounts, right? And if you keep repeating it, then you are basically um, like poking a hole in the in the growth of the company. And then also you have customer behavior derivates from history, right? So um, just to use a quick example here. So, for example, companies have started now keeping track of, even for B2C customers who return their products very often. And based on that, their experience changes, right? That they might have restriction on returning items based on if they place 10 orders and 8 of them get returned, then over time, company may not want this particular customer to order 10 things or be able to return those 10 things, right? So like the company is adapting. So similarly, AI will notice the behavior and then it will generate the recommendation. In this case, it's like the AI will make suggestion. It will flag it for the sales ops review so that the team can understand exactly what's going on. Then you have margin risk, right? So it's identifying what is being at risk, and it's a medium kind of risk. And then you have a recommendation for adjustment that AI assist will suggest that instead of giving 25% discount, for example, it should get reduced to 12%. So the profit margins are not at risk and the customer is still getting some kind of discount based on their tier. And then comes the human validation piece where you have the sales ops. They approve it, they can modify it, or they can override it. So it totally depends on any of those three things. Based on the review, they can decide whether they want to keep it or they want to make adjustments. And then last, which is the most important piece here, is the learning loop, which is the outcome feedback into future recommendations, threshold turning, and model confidence. Because everything that the sales ops do after the recommendation made is helping AI learn better, right? AI assist will take those recommendations for future, that hey, for future in scenario like this, maybe I should not recommend to make that heavy adjustment on discounts and things like that. So it will keep learning and keep giving better recommendations. And if you think about it, to identify an issue like this with the unusual discount, to get to all the pulling of all the data and identifying all of this, a human might take at least 15-20 minutes, at least, right? Pulling data from all the different systems and everything and then processing it. However, our AI assist can do it in seconds. That's where you have time saved, and time saved is money earned, right? Because you save time, you improved your efficiency. And we can help organization improve the profits based on these um, um, sorry, these practices, because this is just one example of using AI assist, right? There are tons of examples and functions where we can use AI assist, and it will help us improve the return on investment, reduce the time, as well as okay, I was going for the key takeaways. So talking about the key takeaways here, operations offers the fastest AI ROI, as we discussed throughout, right? Because of the high volume of processes, and also the gaps in the processes. So there's a huge scope of improvement generally, or operations generally are is one of the areas which is not paid a lot of focus on, because people generally try to spend more time on marketing, on sales, and they don't realize that though that is absolutely important, but having a well-oiled machine for operations is equally or even more important for a long-term sustainable business and making it profitable. And then moving forward, we have decision latency reduction. So AI assist will help us reducing the time that takes to decide what should be the next steps and how should we proceed. And you can easily scale a solution like this based on an enterprise solution, and do responsible artificial intelligence, right? Do responsible AI instead of aggressive automation that, okay, we are going to completely remove a human intervention, because that's what keeps things going most effectively, because there are scenarios that AI does not know of and needs to learn over time. And having the human validation helps make sure that customers are being handled correctly, based on the exceptions that need to happen that AI may not understand just yet. So with that, hands-on exercise. Pritam, I just wanted to be cognizant of the time. Do we have time to go over this?
Yes, yes. Proceed.
Okay. Okay, great. So let's do that. So let's talk about what to automate versus what not to, right? Because as we discussed, there are tons of processes when you talk about enterprise architecture, right? So we want to be able to identify what are the type of things we should automate and the things we should not. So let's talk about that a little when we are automating. So when we are automating, we should try to automate things which are frequent decisions, or you have, and then you have rules which are at least semi-structured, because as we talked earlier, AI works best when there's a rule structure, because then you can define exactly what are the rules, and then against those rules, AI assist can work and help make recommendations. And the third thing is, when the errors are reversible, you don't want to automate something completely which you cannot revert back from, right? You want to be, especially when you're starting, you want to attempt to automate something using AI when your errors are reversible, so that you can come out of it if the behavior that was fixed did not work as per the expectations, right? And then let's talk about things what we should not automate, or things we should not focus on from AI lens just yet. Decisions that are rare. And why I say we should not automate it, only because from enterprise perspective, you always have to keep in mind the return on investment, right? So if a decision is rare, if it's an exception path, it becomes more expensive to actually build something to handle such rare scenarios, rare occurrences, and to maintain it, right? Building is one thing, and then you have to maintain it, compared to when your return on investment becomes poor. And then don't automate when there's a legal or ethical risk. Absolutely right. Because as you're automating, you want to make sure that no rules and regulations of the country you're located in are being broken, and there's no ethical risk either, right? the AI implementation also needs to be ethical. And of course, if you don't have historical data, it doesn't make sense to automate yet, because to make it more effective, you need some historic data to help AI understand the expected result, the problem, so that it can learn, right? If you don't have any historic data, it won't be very effective use of artificial intelligence, because then it will take a lot longer to identify and make recommendations which will actually work for you, because if it doesn't have history, it won't work as well, at least in this scenario. Let's use B2B examples. So we can automate ticket categorization, that what bucket the ticket should go in, but let's not completely automate contract approvals, where there are two legally binding parties and we need to sign documentations. So probably not the best idea for AI to completely take over that, because you need somebody making sure that it aligns with the legal nuances of the location, compliance, regulations, everything. So wait, I'll have to stop this because the exercise is here. And I would hope that I would get some info back from you guys, everybody who's attending. So as we talk about agent versus automation decision, right? Like I was mentioning, let's do a quick exercise here, talking about distinguishing whether we should do a manual work for a process, whether we should do a traditional automation, or whether we should try to use agentic AI by classification. And we have a table here real quick. We have task classification table. You have a task and something that you want to do it manually, automate, agentic AI, and why. So I would like to request you all who are attending. So let's go over one by one on the task, and then probably we can discuss what you would pick and why, right? We'll take like a minute in between, and then we can pick up, if that's fine. So let's pick up the first task here. Customer support case triage and priority assignment. So what would be the thought of everybody, whether we should keep it manual, automate, or make it agentic AI? And the key here is to say, why would we take one route versus the other? So is there anybody who would want to take a stab at it? Preetham, if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. They want to unmute themselves. Is that required?
I guess, yeah. Is there anybody who would like to give it a try? And there's no right and wrong answers here, right? We are just here to learn. Let's share the thought process if anybody's interested.
All right, I've provided the access. They can unmute themselves and they can speak.
Great, thank you.
According to me, the first one should be the agentic AI, since it is a repetitive task, because in the operations, the tickets will be flowing in a bunch, and obviously the priority assignments and escalating to the major incident management. So this is a generic process on a day-to-day operation activity. That's why it should be added into the agentic AI.
Thank you so much for your answer. I'm sorry, I didn't get your name.
Umesh.
Umesh, Thank you, Umesh, for your answer, and it totally makes sense. That's exactly it. That given that it's a repetitive task and we can have rule-based pattern recognition, we can use that for sorting and sorting all the tickets and priority assignments. Um, so I appreciate you going ahead with the answer. Thanks.
Thank you.
Moving on, let's talk about our second one, meeting documentation, task creation, tracking, like the action items. Anybody for that? Yeah, we'll take a minute. It's fine.
Hi,
According to
Advait here. So this particular, the third one that we are talking about, monthly one. So this being what I strongly feel is this should come under the category of automate, because this function is available with this software called Zoom, where after conducting the thing across like monthly, if they have a separate module where it can be like the manager need not to be there. So once the meeting is scheduled, it can run on its own, where it can send out reports assigned to certain thing. So this can be an automated, that would be the thing that what I strongly feel.
Okay. Thank you, Advait. I got a little confused. Were you talking about the meeting documentation or the monthly operational performance reporting?
I'm talking about the third one, the monthly operational one, because what we do in a monthly operational performance reporting and all, what we do is we try to analyze a pattern. So this can be done without without human intervention. This can be automated, and I believe most of the companies, like the tier one companies which I work with, so there everything is automated. So
Absolutely.
monthly reportings and all insights it automatically generates. So when I'm sitting in front of my boss, so what happens is I'm just presenting, that is all.
Right. No, absolutely. You're 100% right, because this is one of those ones where there's rules very set defined, and you have a reporting structure. You know the type of insights that are being generated. So this is a very good candidate to get automated without any human intervention, because you just have a process, and AI knows that it needs to run it every month on the 1st or whatever the date you need it by, right? And it can do it until you need a different type of a report, right? So thank you for your answer. This totally makes sense. Your why is aligned with what we talked about.
Sorry to interrupt here. On this point specifically, as per my knowledge, it should be going into the agentic AI. The reason because based on your my performance data, at least you will be able to predict the my future. So which will not be possible using the automation, which can be possible through the automatic AI. So AI can predict you the next the level. Automate will do based on the historic information. It will give you this my current scenario or the trend it will show. But agentic AI, it will help you to show the prediction. So that's why agentic AI may be the suitable answer as per my knowledge.
So I think what you're saying also makes sense. So here's what I am thinking I should have split, and I apologize. The performance reporting piece works better for automate based on what Adit said, but for insight generation and prediction for future, agentic AI would align better, because like you said, right, there's multi-step workflow, there's you're like ingesting the data, identifying the anomaly, and then creating some insights for future and for actionable.
Yeah.
So probably I'll split it out. Thank you for calling it out. Yeah. Moving on. Anybody else for take for any of these, the meeting documentation or the operational incidents?
Meeting documentation, it should come under automate, right? The reason because it differs from document to document. It may be completely different. So agentic AI, as you said, it should have a similar pattern, which is not possible in case of documentation. So the
Yes,
rules are not a semi-structured.
correct.
So that's the reason it should automate.
Yeah, thank you for that. Yes, so it should be automated using AI assist, because you are doing transcription, summarization, and like you said, right, the historic data is not, the content is always not the same. It could depend on the type of meeting and the tasks being created. So agentic AI would not be the better suited aspect here to be used. And I'm sorry, who was that? Thank you
Umesh.
for Umesh. Oh,
Umesh.
Umesh, yeah, appreciate it. Moving on to our last one, which is the operational incident detection, escalation, and response coordination. And feel free to split these out. If you're answering, if you feel one piece of it works better with one piece, automate or agentic, manual, please share your thoughts.
Hi, I would like to Advait here. So I would like to add a point here. See, this is something very right now we are in the level of A and I. And as we scale up to the level of AGI and ASI, so the moment we are stepping into the shoes of AGI, so this particular the complete at the moment it is a mix and match. But as we scale up to the level of AGI strongly on a fully functional way, 100% it will be, I would say, beyond the level of beyond the scope of agentic AI, we will be able to make it.
Right. Yeah, like futuristic. Yeah, definitely. Yes.
But at the moment, you can categorize into like the operational instance that can be manual, and the escalation and all that it can be put into the shoes of manual as well as automatic. As far as the response coordination is concerned, if that particular model is trained to work on these kind of responses, so then in that scenario, we can put it into the shoes of agentic AI also.
Okay.
So it is a bit a tricky thing to answer this particular thing.
Okay. Thank you, Advat. I would want to highlight, though, based on what you said. So operational incident detection, don't you think, based on what we discussed earlier, some of the patterns, some incidents actually can be easily detected. The anomalies can get detected by AI assist. We don't need to be completely manual in this case, because we can surely use, if not everything, right? We can have some defined rules, and it can at least help detect incidents of different kinds, right? Like the pricing issue that we identified, that, hey, this is a very high level of discount. I'm just using that as an example from earlier. So it's still an operational incident, right? Where somebody went ahead and gave 50% discount, and AI can help identify that. We don't need somebody to go manually in a report and identify that it's actually happening. What would your thoughts be? Would you agree?
See, I mean, I agree because I work with like products like Roxio and few products where like can say it can be that's what I'm telling you. This is a very tricky situation at the moment. You can't be say you cannot say that for smaller companies,
Yes,
with the
absolutely.
bigger clients, it is manual. But
Yes.
if you take the level of CMM 6 level companies, obviously they have everything as you said. They will have a system where they will have a repository and try to find the pattern and then go ahead with the rest of the things. I agree with.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thanks for the feedback. I think that's all we had for the exercise. I just wanted to have a quick exercise here so that, as we just talked about, as in like AI assist, we are thinking in the same direction, right? Like trying to use what we talked about for 45 minutes or so, and how we can apply it, because applying it is the key, right? So I appreciate that. With that, I conclude. Please let me know if anybody has any questions for me. And if not, then I can hand it back to Pritam.
Hi, Rashmi. Thank you so much for a wonderful session and this interactive session. Can really, it's good to see how they are answering all the participants. Lovely to see that. So we have got some questions previously
Mhm.
during your session. So do you want me to read it for you?
Yeah, or yes, it would help, or I can. Anything works. Whichever is more effective. I know as you host sessions more
That's
often.
absolutely fine. Anything works for me either. So, Advait is asking, where does AI actually fail in operations, and why do you most implementation halt after pilot project?
Advait, that's a great question. So, um, let's talk about the first part. Pritam, can you please repeat the question again?
Sure,
Sorry.
sure. So, where does AI actually fail in operations, and why do most implementation halt after pilot project?
Sure. So, to answer your question, one of the key reasons why AI implementations fail is because you don't pick up a process which was good to be automated, right? As we were talking earlier, right? Here, automate or not, there are sometimes situations where see, we all know here AI is a buzzword at this time, right? Everybody is trying to get on the train and confirm that, hey, we are using AI in the organization, but a lot of the people, or a large number of people, don't understand what to automate, where to leverage artificial intelligence, and that's where failure occurs. Because if you don't pick a process or an area which had a structure, where you already had some rules with a structure and repetitive processes that you can identify, or you don't have historic data, right, as I was mentioning here. So those are the type of things where if you don't pick a process which was correct, then your AI will fail. And if your AI implementation fails, if you don't see the result you were expecting, and some people expect like it will work like magic and like in 2 days it will solve all the problems, but that's not how it works. As we talked about it, it has a learning loop. It will take time, and over time it will keep learning based on your system, the way you operate. The historic data will keep increasing, the quality of data is better. So all of those contribute towards a failure or a success based on what the team picked as the candidate. That's what I'll say. I hope that answers your question.
Absolutely, Rashmi. Thank you so much for answering that one. Can see another question from Advait. Seems like he has a lot of question. I can see three more questions from him. Which function should not be automated with AI, even if technically possible?
So I would say, like, I'll go back to the answer I just gave, right? That any process which is not happening very frequently, we should not try to automate. Even though we have the technology to do that, that does not mean, just because you have the tool doesn't mean that implementation makes sense, right? Because then you will not get the outcome you are expecting, and your ROI would not justify the means that you used.
Great, thank you so much. There's another question. What operational metrics should leaders track to prove AI ROI within 6 to 12 months?
Okay. I would say I would get back with the matrix myself after the session, if that's okay. I'll create a dummy. I think that is something great to be included in one of the future sessions as well. But I can share something after the call where what are the areas they can focus on, right? Because it will also depend on the type of process you pick. For example, if you, just to use the example that we used earlier for B2B, we'll use lost sale, right? The one that we were talking about earlier. We can use that as a matrix that, okay, until 2026, until we had AI, we had 15% customers lost because of the delay, right? Because you are able to pull those reports. And then you can show the reporting on after the AI assist implementation, that has reduced from 15% to 6%, for example. Again, I'm making up the numbers. So you would be able to show to the leadership as to how the changes that you have made are helping the team retain customers, improving customer attrition. But if you'd like, I can surely share a template with you after the call. I'll be glad.
That's great help, Rashmi. Thank you so much. Moving forward to the next question, and before that, I would love to tell all the participants I do have some great announcement for all of you. So please stay connected till the end. And as we are almost done with the Q&A, so I'll be taking this question as the last question. Unfortunately, I won't be able to cover all the questions. I can see a lot of questions in the chat box. So I encourage you all to please reach out to Rashmi. I have already shared her LinkedIn. I'll share it again if you want. Please reach out to her, or you can post your questions over the social media by tagging GSDC. We'll make sure that one of our subject matter expert will get back to you with the answer. Thank you. So the last question, I'll be reading it. I'll be reading, which is came from Ajay. Just to understand with one more clarity, what are the possible use cases in B2B where ETEAA agentic AI can be used besides the ticket related use cases?
So I did cover a few of them. Let me see. I had some high volume, high impact use cases, right? So we can definitely use it for anomaly and compliance monitoring, right? We can use it for anomaly detection. And honestly, one of the biggest pain points, I have been with like in B2B space for around 10 years, over 10 years now. And I've realized that the orders and payments are one of the big pain point when it comes to customers. Oops, am I talking on mute? All right. Okay. No, sorry. And those are the areas where there are so many scenarios, so many variety of scenarios, even in B2B. Of course, in B2C, it's the same struggle, but that AI assist can help improve. So tickets is definitely one of the easy example. I didn't, honestly, I did not know the audience ahead of time that how like whether there'll be more students or more academic oriented young professionals. I wanted to make sure I use an example which is easy for everybody to relate. That's why I use that. But yeah, there are definitely a lot more complex processes, even within ordering or payment processing, that can get automated using AI assist. And for this,
Sure, Rashmi, Ajay here.
Hey, Ajay.
The ticketing is almost the generic use case in every domain, whether it is B2B, B2C, or any other domain you take. It is a ticketing is the most easiest use case
Absolutely.
as of now.
Yes, it's a low-hanging fruit, right? It's something that, regardless of the area, like you said, right, everybody use some form of tickets. Hence, it becomes easier and it's less complex also, right? Because you have 10 type of tickets, for example, right? And you have 3 priorities that get set. So the reason why it is something most popular use case, because you have a set defined of rules, and like, you can put it in a box. When you are getting started with AI, there are a lot of things that the company does not know, the team is still learning. So it becomes like a low-hanging fruit win for the team to start getting their hands into artificial intelligence. And once they improve that, they see the value add, they can then take it further in additional areas for sure.
No, I definitely agree with you fully, Rashmi, that from the adoption and implementation perspective, the ticketing use case is very, very easy to implement. Show the ROI and get the buying or business use case, update your business use case to implement the AI in other areas, but very carefully.
Absolutely. Thank you, Ajay.
Thanks, Rashmi.
Back to you, Preetam.
Yeah, wonderful. Thank you so much, Rashmi, and I can see a good interaction today in the session. So keep doing it, dear participants. So definitely we'll be coming up with more sessions ahead. So Rashmi, before I take the handover back of the mic, we would love to hear final thoughts from you for all our participants today.
Sure. I would like to take a minute to say thank you, first of all, to the GSDC team, to Preetam, to help, to give me the opportunity to come here, speak about my experience, as well as be here with the team. And I really appreciate the team, the audience here engaging, because in the end, um, there's so much material available online. But a situation where you can discuss a particular scenario, or if you are learning a tool, that's, I think, is most helpful. And if you can go, like, my hope for everybody who joined the session, I hope everybody enjoyed the session, is that as you go back to your work or to your studies, you can actually try to identify these things, that hey, this is something that I can automate, and this is something I should uh, use AI agent or agentic AI, things like that, right? So this was more of a session where you're not learning a tool, you're learning a skill to identify what can you use the AI tools for better, so that you can help your organization or yourself in your day-to-day life. A lot of people create AI solutions for themselves, for the processes that they have in day-to-day, and they would want to improve it. So anywhere where you can use, this is the knowledge that you can apply anywhere, and that's what I'd hope for everyone. I did add a quick exercise at the end of the deck here, like in next 30 days, what can you do as a starter plan if you're interested. And my LinkedIn is shared by Preetam. If anybody had more questions and we were not able to cover it today because of the time constraint, I'll be more than happy to help anybody who would need any more help, or have any additional questions, or would want to know more about B2B or AI in general. I'm glad to be of help. Thanks again.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Rashmi. Dear participants, as this is exercise for all of you, so request you to please take a screenshot of this, and I encourage all of you to please complete this, and after that what you have to do, right? So once you're ready with the output or result, you can post it over social media, tag Rashmi, tag GSTC, so we will able to track your results, and we'll be definitely getting back to you with the one of the most creative tasks that we find, right? So complete your task and do tag us. Thank you so much, Rashmi. Thank you so much for wonderful notes, kind note. And it's like it's never ending discussion about the AI. We'll definitely look forward to have another session with you in the GSTC. Thanks again for being here.
Yeah, likewise. I look forward to being here again. Thank you, Preetam. Thank you, everyone. You have a good rest of your day, everyone. Bye.
Absolutely, Rashmi. Yes. So, dear participants, I have some quick announcement for all of you. I won't take much time. It's just 2 minutes. So, this is regarding the today's feature session we had on. We have this all certification. Many of you are already aware. So, this certification you can opt out for using AI20 as a promo code to get 20% off. So, you all know these certifications are globally recognized one. You'll be getting learning resources where you'll be getting a lot of case studies to work on, e-learnings and book of knowledge. These learnings is lifelong learnings which gives you flexibility as well, and you'll be getting chance to connect with our training partner channel, and you'll be having opportunity to work on capstone project, that is something real-time AI simulation practice, right? So you can opt out any of the certification. Check our website for more information or get in touch with a learning advisor. You will find the details in the chat box. And this is regarding the utility tool. This tool will help you to improve your LinkedIn profile score, AI skill score. Use this AUG100 as a code to get 100% off, which is completely free, and this is only for our webinar attendees. So check this out. I've already shared the utility link. You just have to scroll up. If you couldn't find, I'll share it again after this announcement. And we're running this another series on ISO. We have incredible panel of experts aligned for this series, which is happening this week, 12 to 16 January 2026. You can join us. The time slot is 8:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 8 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, we are running another series. Right now, we are conducting 3 webinar series. So this is our third series on learning and development, where we have incredible panel of expertise aligned for this as well. This is happening till 31st of January. So for this week, 12 to 16 January, you can join us at 9:30 a.m. Central, 10:30 p.m. Singapore, 9 p.m. Indian Standard Time, and 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. You'll find all the registration link and the WhatsApp group link in the chat box. And we do have these three winners who have referred maximum people to our AI series. Let's congratulate to them and appreciate them for the efforts they are taking, referring people, to this powerful and knowledgeable session. So you still have a time because we'll be announcing all the final winners at the end of this series. So refer maximum people to our session and be winners, because all the winners will be getting rewards which is worth $400. And in case if you want to be speaker for our upcoming events, feel free to share your speaker profile with us, and we'll make sure that we'll be getting reviewed and we'll be getting back to you with the speaker opportunity. You can directly write to me at preetham@gsdcouncil.org. As you all know that we do have a platform, global platforms like Learning Capsule, webinar and podcast. We would love to connect with you all over social media. You can scan this QR, connect with us over LinkedIn, check our website for more information and other offerings that GSDC has for all of you. And please do share your valuable feedback on reviews.io and Trustpilot. Thank you so much everyone for joining today's session. Hope to see you for the next session as well. Thank you, Rashmi. Bye bye everyone. Take care.
Thank you. Bye.